Good morning, Metaverse. It's another episode of On OpenSeas with your host, Prof. Let's get started. It's Monday, September 27th. The markets are looking better than they did when we checked in on Friday. That's right, I take the weekends off, y'all. Bitcoin's hovering at about 43.5 and Ethereum's a little over 3,000, so we're looking happier this week, but only moderately because we're still down $1,000 over the past week or so, at least in Ethereum. I wish I could tell you we have great art to review today on OpenSeas, but as always, the art tab is cluttered with garbage. We have top 5 projects today totaling 29.24 ETH. Which is roughly 87,000, so not really a huge day by any means. Our number one collection of the day is from a collection called the Collector Chronicles, and this NFT artist basically creates essentially ambient visual scenes of a day in the life of an NFT crypto collector. So the first one up here on the board is called The Collector Chapter 1, and it sold for a total of 1.6 ETH yesterday, which, since I do the math for you all on here, is about $4,500. And you might be looking at that and going, why? Well, it is a minute-long animated piece, and there is a lot more detail in these than your average digital pieces, I would argue. And the ambient sound is unique, and it features actual NFTs from crypto artists that have gone for millions of dollars at this point. So it is a pretty unique, interesting, I guess, collection. But I wouldn't argue that this is art. Or maybe I would. I guess because movies and animations are eventually art. I just have a beef against this flat style. All right, on to collection number 2. Collection number 2 is from MirrorWorld. And MirrorWorld is another NFT video game collection of profile picture characters that doesn't let you see what your character is until after you purchase, or at some predetermined point in the future when they decide to let everyone get revealed and see what their characters are. So you can see that this artwork, so to speak, is really, really expensive. And it goes by Mirrors number 04354 and features a boring gemstone with a question mark in it. And I mean, personally, as a Michigan fan, I love the color scheme, from a biased perspective, but art, this is not. This third collection is called Chulo Toadz, and they have 500 unique toads in an 8-bit style. The artists behind this collection are Cholo and Blue Pastel, neither of which I know, obviously. But, let's shout out the artists behind the project, because that's what we do here on Culture Whore. We consume content. Anyways, they sold 14 toads yesterday, all for 0.2 ETH each. So that's a 14-way tie, though 8 of the sales came from one person named Mr. Todd. And I'm wondering if Mr. Todd was actually a typo and they really meant to call themselves Mr. Toad. I've been cycling a handful of the toads throughout this discussion, but I'm going to freeze it now and show you just Quetzalcoatl Toad. Don't roast me for it. Quetzalcoatl. I can't say it. It's tough. But anyways, he was like the serpent god of, I want to say it was the Mayans or the Aztecs. Mayan sounds right. But now I'm just not sure anymore. But there's this really cool pyramid in Mexico, which is the Temple of Quetzalcoatl. And if you're there on the equinox, when the sun hits it, the stairs create an actual sort of stair-steppy snake look shadow on the pyramid, which looks like the god descending from the skies to visit the people. So it's a really cool trick that they do once a year. Trick. But anyways, hopefully for you out there today, you learned something. Cholo Toadz, in my opinion, is the closest thing we're getting to art today from real artists. Though technically we will get closer with these next 2 pieces. So let's just dive right into it. Foundation is our number 4 collection. And if you guys were paying attention on Friday, they were our number 1 collection. Though today's art piece, which is up here and called Peg number 1 or Peg number 065, and it's also our most expensive piece of the day. Went for 4 ETH. Again, this kind of feels like the most fitting sale because Foundation, as we remember, is the collective of artists, invite-only artist marketplace that competes with OpenSeas. And now you might be asking, Connor, why don't you go there to review their top sales for artwork since you're always looking for the top sales in artwork? I would, but they don't have a great statistics, board for me to work off of. So OpenSeas is the focus until something like Rarible or Art Foundation have better statistics for me to comment on the work from. Today we're going to talk about our last and final collection from AI Fountain. AI Fountain is from our friends over at OnCyber from our first episode where we talked about the NFT art gallery, website, metaverse that they were creating so that you can display your art pieces. They have another collection with artificially created art pieces. Only 2,500 of them will ever be created, and it's thematic, but you won't know the theme that an image belongs to until a cluster develops around that theme, and you'll get some insights into the rarity of pieces from that theme. And I think it's a really interesting approach because this is the most artistic AI generated portfolio collection that I've seen today in the approach that they're going about it. And as you can see from this piece titled King of AI, which went for 0.33 ETH yesterday, the artwork is objectively pretty interesting and arguably good. I would love to see it be created by human intelligence, obviously, because then there's more deliberate thought behind this. But who knows? Maybe the sentient computer doesn't know how to speak to us yet. That being said, this art piece is, to me, it is art. Like I said, I just wish it came from human hands because there is that element that I think that makes it art because humans are imperfect and computers are not. But this is probably the coolest piece I think we're looking at today. Whether or not it's art, comes down to probably some more ethical discussions about artificial intelligence that we don't need to get into right now. But the top 5 collection, in my opinion, a little disappointing today. I'm hoping for better results tomorrow, so stay tuned. This has been another episode of On OpenSeas with your host, Prof. Culture Horror Tuesday newsletter comes out tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Definitely subscribe to our channel, to our newsletter, so you can stay up to date. Because we know all you culture whores out there are just consuming content, binging it, and we love it. We're here for it. So enjoy the rest of your day.